So let's talk Ireland under-20s 3, England 19, England's quest to go back-to-back in the Six Nations. A massive win away in Ireland. But it was very ugly. It was an absolute gutter war. But I wanted to get a video match report in before the seniors kicked off and, take the limelight and all my time. Because I did an interview with Mark Mapletoft and Tom Burrow, the captain, earlier in the week. So I want to kind of keep track on how it's going, talk about how some of these players played. So welcome to this video, supported once again by Sports News Blitz. Do check out their website for great Six Nations content. Both these teams, they're going to be disappointed. Obviously, Ireland are going to be more disappointed because they lost, but they had plenty of possession, they're at home, they had chances, they couldn't convert. England are going to be disappointed, not because they won, but because their execution of their attacking plays in particular were very poor, but it's all about the win. They get the win, and they're on track for the Six Nations once again, but they're going to have to play a lot better. Probably the biggest opposition coming up against France, but yeah, that's next week, so they're going to have to be better, and maybe a ban for probably their biggest player, full stop, Junior Kapoko, but we will get into this. It's very cold in the studio here, so the hat is on, and it looked cold and wet in Ireland, that's for sure. England setting the scene, screaming hammer in their standard defensive play, flying up, and Ireland under-20s, just like the seniors, trying to shift the point of contact. And the 10 for Ireland, who I can't quite pronounce the surname, played very well, I thought, actually. And early on, the big second row, Billy Corrigan, made some good breaks as well. So it was looking pretty decent, getting some passes going. But the England tackling was absolutely mammoth all game. And when they get the clean shots, they were throwing the Irish runners back. So it's just stunting the Irish defence, although, yes, Ireland got lots more attacking phases. England's most recognisable player, Henry Pollock, who was training with the seniors, has a poor start. His first couple of big carries, he just bounces off his hands, trampoline hands. He can't catch anything, and a lot of players like that for England were like that. They weren't safe enough in the carry. I think the passes were a bit too harsh maybe in the conditions. That's something they're going to have to look at, because if they get their forwards carriers going, they are very, very powerful, and they made some good gain line when they did it. So if they can get that going continuously, they're going to get tries, they're going to get penalties. They do have the clear power advantage. They had the wind behind them in the first half as well, meaning their kicks just went that little bit longer. Gain line's not a problem. They did start to string it together. Sodake, Kapoko, Burrow, all bashing over. They're playing 3-second rows. But anything isolated, the Irish were very quick on it. And then we get a penalty against Billy Seller in the scrum. So not a great start for England to start with. On 11 minutes, we see a flash of how impressive England's hooker Tuipulotu can be. Wasn't his best game all round, but we saw here on 11 minutes, he bumps a player, then draws and gives, and that creates the break to lead to some chaos in defence and a penalty for Ben Cohen to slot over, who kicked at goal absolutely beautifully. Now, in the comments in my last video, some saying Cohen might not be the best available to England, but goodness me, he played very well in this game. Probably my standout player, actually. Defensively, he tackled really well. It wasn't a running attacking game, so I didn't really see that part of his game. England, they're losing restarts, and they've really struggled gathering their own restarts in that game. That's something they're going to have to work on for sure. And they're staying upright in the tackle. I know all sides do it, but it's my pet haters. It just invites the chance of cards. And then we have Kapoko and Kinder looking to be fairly upright, but Kapoko's is the worst. So much expected of him in this tournament. He might cop a ban for this. It's a late tackle. It's high. It looks like he's leading with the shoulder. It looks very nasty. They took a long time with the TMO because I think the ref didn't want to send someone off, but he had to really. But luckily for England, maybe saved the match. It's the 20-minute red card, not the straight red card, so England can at least replace Kapoko after 20 minutes. But yeah, his game is gone, and maybe most of the tournament. And in this period where England were down men, they probably won the game by their sheer resolute defence. They actually pushed back the Ireland scrum, even without Kapoko in the pack. Ireland have the extra man, and they're trying to run it out of their own half. It's risky, but it does pay off as Pollock gives away a penalty, and Ireland get in a good position. And it gets bad to worse for England as the captain, Tom Burrow, a bad brain fade. It has to be said. He's on the floor and he plays the 9 for some reason. It's just really silly. Yellow card, and England are down to 13 men. McParland's off as well, the first choice scrum half. So Friday has to come on, who actually I think looked really, really good. So a good replacement there, because that could have gone badly. Penalty to Ireland, 5 metre line out, but the wind actually pushes it dead, so they don't quite get that 5 metre line out. Every time Ireland got close, something went wrong. And then against the run of play, England get a penalty. Cohen steps up and slots another great kick. So it's 6-0 or 0-6, even though England have done pretty much everything wrong. So that's, a bit of a turn up for the books, but they're defending for their lives, that's for sure, because Ireland are getting good possession on the half hour. England in their own 22, 13 men, of course, but this time a penalty for Ireland, and they do get some points. So 3-6, but still England, I think, would have been fine with that, considering they were defending with 13 men, just to concede 3 points, because sometimes you concede penalties and more yellow cards when you're trying to desperately stop a try, say, from another driving maul. A couple of times in this game we saw the new rule where if the throw is wonky, it doesn't matter if the opposition don't compete. And a couple of times Ireland didn't compete. On 32 minutes, it's the case here. So England just get to go for a nice maul. Lucas Friday does a nice little top roller kick to pin Ireland back. And Ireland, they're staying upright in the tackle as well. So it's a penalty for England, and Cohen slots another really nice long ranger. Goodness me, this guy can kick. So 3-9 on 32 minutes with men down. Just a massive result for England there. But 5 minutes before the half, they still can't take a restart. And the blindside for Ireland, Foy, he was really impressive. He jackals and gets Ireland another 5 metre maul chance. But England at least get one player back on the pitch and counter maul really nicely with really good low body positions to turn it over. It goes into a bit of a brawl, and well, this game was pretty much a fight anyway, so that's about right. Ireland get more chances, 5 metre scrum, but unbelievably again, Ireland can't convert. Pollock disrupts and forces a knock on. Gus of war. Big back row George Timmins is on for Kapoko, and England monstrous scrum and relieve some pressure. So 3-9 at half time. They'll be delighted with that, considering how terrible the half was in many ways. In the second half, England have another brain fade, and it's another one of their big players, their big name players. Winger Jack Bracken goes for an obvious deliberate knock on in the tackle. In the old days, you used to get away with this. I remember doing this technique quite a lot of times, and the ref would just give it as a knock-on for the attacking player. But no, we know it is a deliberate knock-on, so I don't know why players still do it. Bracken does it. It's pretty obvious. He's saved from a yellow card by the TMO, and Ireland go for the post from long range, not the corner. It's windy, he can't get it. Another let-off for England for sure. They don't lose another man, that's the key thing. Ireland's blindside Foy, their man of the match for sure, swallows up a dangerous maul, so England can't quite get their maul going, they can't quite get their running attack going. But then against the run of play, England get to 5 metres from the Irish line because it's a brilliant two-handed catch above his head from giant winger Charlie Griffin. He looked decent in this game for sure. Ireland, they're trying to go for crossfield kicks a bit too much, and that is what leads to that one. But of course, England, they muck up the line out. I think it's Timmins leaving the line out early, and that gets pinged. You can slide across the line out, but you can't leave it completely. Then they muck up a short front line out play on the next play. Tuipulotu drops the ball at the back of another maul. So that execution just really, really awful. And it's on the hour we finally see England's potential with their running attack as the forwards come on at pace, don't drop the ball, and they just smash over the gain line one after another. Looks really dangerous, looks like it's going to be a try, but brilliant quick double jackal from Ireland saves the day. But finally, on 66 minutes, England managed to complete 2 powerful mauls in a row, and Ireland is just creaking under this pressure of the extra power of the England pack. Of course, they're back up to 15 players. England roll around the front of the maul very nicely and go for the line. Ireland collapse, and it is a penalty try, and of course a yellow card for that collapse, so bit of a killer blow there. 3-16, only about 10-12 minutes to go, but of course England can't secure the restart. They knock on again, and Ireland get a good chance to score. They go for the crossfield kick again. It is hard conditions. Don't know if it's the best strategy, but anyway, it looks like Foy is in, but a Superman tackle from Kinder just trips him in time, and then Tuipulotu and Sadeki try and secure the line-out ball with a nice quick front throw, but they get that one wrong as well. England are in survival mode. They get a couple of good ref calls, I think, that go their way, and then Malt's just starting to get going, just relieving a bit of pressure as the time just runs out, basically. I mean, their running phases continue to be pretty awful. They just can't string enough of the phases together to get any pressure. But like I said, the clock is ticking down, 13 points in the lead. They're just creeping towards victory. Ireland do get a last chance, but the replacement scrum half Doyle taps a quick penalty but knocks on his own kick, so that's a disaster. And we see Henry Pollock, good attacking footwork finally, just a couple of minutes to go before the end, leads to a penalty, 3 more points, and it is 3-19. There was time for one miracle tackle from Kane James, smashing Ireland into touch, just like they were going to get a consolation try. And that is it. England, just get out of there, get out of Ireland with the win, and you need to be a lot better against France. But yeah, that game was all about the winning. Big defensive shift. Who stood out? Well, man of the match for me was definitely Ben Cohen in hard conditions, but he kicked superbly at goal. Big ones out of hand as well, and he tackles like a train. Like I said, not an attacking game, but Lucas Friday, I thought, came on for McParland and did really well, actually. Did some nice technical things, a couple of breaks, and Kane James, the official man of the match, was the pick of the forwards, although he even knocked it on a couple of times as well. So, not great all round, but you take the win, you move on. Let me know what you thought of that game. All the comments down below. Do subscribe, do like if you want to get into the Six Nations with me, and I'll catch you next time.